Okay, let's focus on our top story now. The Social Justice Coalition has criticized the South African Police Service. It's compared their reaction to the rape and murder of Khayelitsha teenager Sinoxolo Mafevuka to that of 16-year-old Francisca Blochliger. She was raped and murdered in Tokai last week. The organization is planning a march in Khayelitsha today. They want to draw attention to inequalities in Cape Town. Well, let's chat to the coalition's head of safety and justice, Chumile Sali, who's joining us from our Cape Town studios this morning. Chumile, good morning, and thank you very much for your time. What is the problem that you're seeing with the police on the ground in and around Cape Town? What do you have a problem with?
Yeah, the first issue is the issue of redistribution of police resources, especially in black communities. Because when you compare white affluent areas like your Stellenbosch, Camps Bay, you'll find that in terms of police population ratio, there's one police officer for every 115 residents. But when you go to Khayelitsha in a black township, you'll find that there's one police officer for over 1,700 residents. That therefore means that the police are allocating resources based on race, and black people are marginalized.
Do you believe that if those resources were more equitably distributed, possibly Sinoxolo Mafevuka will still be alive today?
No, I won't comment on that. But the fact is that when you compare the two cases of Tokai and Khayelitsha, you'll find that in Tokai, the matter was resolved within 2 days. Yet in Khayelitsha, the Deputy Minister of Police had to come down to Khayelitsha for the detectives to do the investigation. Since the 3rd of March, there were no investigation done by SAPS in Khayelitsha. The Deputy Minister had to come on the 7th of March to do the investigation. So what I'm saying is that in Khayelitsha, there are less police resources. We have less detectives. We'll find that one detective is dealing with over 100 cases at the same time. And that therefore means that black communities are not prioritized by SAPS.
Okay, Chumile, just to get an understanding, what changed then when the Deputy Minister, Maggie Sokyu, came to the ground in Khayelitsha? If the resources are not enough, did she bring with her more resources?
There were no resources that were brought, but fortunately the media exposed the matter. It's only then that the police started to consult the family. It's only then that the police started to question witnesses, suspects. It's only then the police officers in Khayelitsha started to take statements from community members. That was after the Deputy Minister intervened. That therefore means that if the Deputy Minister didn't come to Khayelitsha, there was no action that was going to be taken, just like any other case in Khayelitsha.
Okay, in Tokai, we also saw the community rallying their support for the Blochliger family. Is the same sense of community involvement in Khayelitsha against crime? We hear police all the time talking about the need for community police forums, for the community to speak out against crime. Are you seeing that as well? How important, in your view, is community involvement in the fight against crime?
There is that sense in Khayelitsha as well, especially in instances where there are missing babies, when the person is missing. You'll find that community members will rally to look for that person. And in Khayelitsha, we have many community structures that are designated to fight crime in our communities. We've got patrol groups, we've got neighborhood watches, and we've got community police forums. We do have that, but that is not enough. We need the state to protect its citizens. We need SAPS to increase its resources in Khayelitsha so that as community members, we are able to help them as well in the fight against crime in our community.
We saw in 2014 that commission of inquiry in Khayelitsha into policing, which also spoke about the inequitable distribution of resources. But I mean, one would have thought 2 years later, maybe things would have changed. And also, I understand that the precinct where Sinoxolo was killed is also been waiting, or a nearby precinct rather, is waiting for a new police station, which was promised in 2004. What are the police telling the community? Why are they dragging their feet in implementing some of those recommendations?
Yeah, if you recall, on the 25th of August last year, as the SJC and Khayelitsha residents, we marched to Parliament demanding at least the Minister of Police to acknowledge the recommendations. Till to date, there is no clear political commitment from the Minister of Police to acknowledge the recommendations. There's no clear political commitment from the Minister of Police to implement at least some portions of the recommendations. The only thing that we got is that there was a letter that was written by the suspended Police Commissioner Ria Piecha, directed to Helen Zille. She indicated that she, in fact, dismissed almost all the recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry. Thus far, there's nothing as yet that is coming from the police ministry. At the local level, we had a series of meetings and engagements with the police, and there is willingness at the ground level. But as we are all aware that the police is a national function, we need the police minister to come on board as well. We need the police officer to come and intervene. So as the SJC, we have decided to take a court action against the Minister of Police, because there are certain recommendations which we think should be implemented immediately, like the issue of visible policing in informal settlements. Till to date, in South Africa, we do not have a plan on how to police informal settlements. Till to date, we do not have a plan on how to deal with vigilante attacks in our communities. And the third issue that we are going to raise in court is the issue of redistribution of police resources. Because to us, it is absurd and that do not make sense.
Okay, Chumile, very briefly before I let you go, you stand for social justice. One of the issues I just want to hear your thought about is the fact that, for instance, in places in Khayelitsha, you've got communal toilets, and I understand that's where Sinoxolo was killed. What's your view? Do you think there should also be action taken? Are you also fighting to ensure that you don't have those kind of outside toilets?
Our two major campaigns as the SJC are the issue of sanitation and the issue of policing. We've been raising this matter with the mayor of Cape Town, Patricia de Lille, that people are subjected to indignities in our communities. For an example, where Sinoxolo was killed, she left before 8 p.m. She went to a toilet, and the toilet from her place, from her house, is close to 400 meters. So she walked that distance at night in informal settlements. There are no street lights, there are no tarred roads as well. So people in informal settlements are exposed to those injustices. So we are calling on the city of Cape Town as well to ensure that we have proper sanitation structures in Khayelitsha. We also welcome the initiative by the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Novula Mokonyane, to introduce the draft legislation on sanitation. So we are hoping that things are going to change in our communities.
Okay, thank you very much, Chumile Sali. He's the Social Justice Coalition's head of safety and justice, speaking to us from our studios in Cape Town.